Here's a very typical GCSE exam question that involves us using ratios in the context of a map. It's complicated because we look at area, and anytime you're looking at area with a ratio, you know you have a squared in there, and you have to remember to use the squared all the time. We've got a map and it's got a scale of 1 to 30,000, which means that 1 centimetre in the map is 30,000 centimetres in real life. Similarly, a mile on the map would be 30,000 miles in real life, so on and so forth. I've been given the area on a map. The area is 4 centimetres squared, and what I want to do is work out what that corresponds to in real life. So how big it is in real life in kilometres squared. Okay? So I'm going to teach you two ways to do it. I'm going to teach you the first way, which is just to memorise the formulae, and then the second way, which is to kind of more understand what's going on and apply it to an example. The first way is you take your area and you times it by the ratio squared, and then you divide it by the conversion squared. Now, the ratio in our case is 30,000, and the conversion I'm looking for is I want to go from centimetres to kilometres. Okay? Well, maybe kilometres to centimetres. Actually, technically it's the other way around because I'm dividing, but it gives you the same thing. So we're actually going from kilometres to centimetres technically because we're dividing, but don't worry too much about that. Now the area is 4, so I put in 4. My ratio is 30,000, so I times by 30,000 squared. And now I'm going to divide. Now, a centimetre into a metre is 100, so I put in 100. And 1 metre into a kilometre is 1,000, so I put in 1,000. Or alternatively, this is 100,000. Okay, and what I do is I put that in my calculator, so I do 4 times 30,000 squared, and I divide by 100,000 squared, and I get 0.36. So that would be my answer. Yeah, I times it by the ratio squared and divide it by the conversion squared. That's one way of doing it. The other method, which is a bit more easy to comprehend and understand but takes a bit longer, is to actually draw it. So, second method. Let's say I've got 4 centimetres squared. I'm going to take a rectangle that has area of 4. It doesn't matter what you use. You could use 2 by 2, you could use 1 by 4. I would always recommend using 1 centimetres on one side and then the area on the other, simply because it's just a bit easier. Use the scale. So 1 centimetre becomes how many centimetres in real life? Well, 1 centimetre on the map becomes, in real life, 1 times 30,000. So that would be 30,000 centimetres. This is the map, this is real life. 4 centimetres, you times by 30,000, and you get 120,000 centimetres. Okay, this is now real life, and this is true. Now all I need to do is take that and divide it by the conversion. So I need to get 30,000 centimetres into kilometres. What I would do is I would do 30,000 on my calculator, and I divide by the same scale, which was 100,000, to get 0.3. That would be 0.3 kilometres. And exactly the same here, 120,000 centimetres would give me 1.2 kilometres. And now, because it's a rectangle, I can multiply these together. I can do 1.2 kilometres times 0.3 kilometres. Okay, if you do it, you get 0.36 kilometres squared, which is exactly the same answer as before. And if you think about it, we've done exactly the same thing. I've taken each length and I've times it by the ratio, so I times by the ratio squared. And then each length I've divided by the conversion, so I divide by the conversion squared. The formulae is doing exactly the same thing as this, but this is more conceptual. So you can use either method, it doesn't matter, but just make sure you comprehend and understand the method you're using. Okay?